Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Medieval Total War Spanish Inheritance campaign. This is episode 5. In the last one, I feel like we were this close to inheriting some territory from the French. Very, very tragic turn of events there. We managed to assassinate 2 of their kings in succession, and so that was pretty interesting. The highest level assassin I had, the best skilled assassin, was 3. Now we've got a 4-star assassin because he's probably been he's fresh back from France, having killed some French kings. But we had 3 stars, only I think 2 of those, and we had a few 2 stars and a lot of 1 stars that we ended up throwing at the French nobility. Essentially, as soon as we saw that they had just the 1 king, no heirs, but they managed to create some heirs out of thin air, as it were. Although, to be fair, there is a whole mechanism in the background of the game that you just can't see. So I cannot see the other factions' family trees, and it is certainly the case that there was a 14-year-old, 15-year-old prince who is just waiting to come of age, the exact same turn that I assassinated his father. So. Regardless, we managed to get through those kings, but although we succeeded in eliminating the faction, we inherited nothing. No one did. So that suggests 2 things. I think there are 2 possibilities here. One is that we did something wrong, and the thing that I think is most likely that we did wrong is that we assassinated a king who was the brother of the princess that we had married. It might be the case that you have to assassinate the family that you're hoping to inherit from has to be wiped out when the daughter that you married is still the daughter of the current king, something like that. So that could be what's going on. There could be some other mechanism that I'm unaware of, right? That I just failed to take into account. Or it could be that we did nothing wrong, that what we did was exactly what you need to do to inherit, but there is simply a dice roll involved, and we did not make that dice roll, right? So we're going to basically keep trying. What I would like to do, though, in our next attempt, once we have a suitable target, is we're going to hold off and we're going to marry, just as sure as we can be, that she is the daughter of the king that we're going to kill, and then we'll see if that works out. Now, that's what we tried to do last time, right? But I think we just have to keep trying because the game is going to have errors popping up, and there's little we can do about that, right? This is a somewhat rare mechanic for a reason. So that's what's on the table here. Now, it's AD 1173. We've got fewer than 300 years left, like 375 years left, something like that. It's 1453, so 380 years, I guess. So that's a lot of time. We've been at this for, let's see, what was it, 1087 when the game started? So we've been at it for fewer than 100 years. And already I think, we got to a point where we were able to train up our assassins. So that's not the problem. The problem is not our assassins. It's the timing. So I think we'll get it. Now, an interesting consequence of this is that the French are now removed from the Glorious Achievements board, and all of the points that they accumulated are now gone. So if the French should reemerge, they will start at 0. So this is actually a very effective way, to make sure that you are going to win Glorious Achievements, is just wipe out through agents the faction that is beating you. If you can't beat them militarily, right? Like if your concern is getting too close to the end date, or you just see the writing on the wall and you'll never be able to catch up in points, then just assassinate them, or inquisit them, or foment a civil war, something like that, so that the faction is eliminated. Again, I'm not really worried about this. So what we want to do is think about our family tree, and we've got our current king, Felipe, who is married to a Spanish princess. I'm sorry, King Enrique. Enrique is married to a Spanish princess. His son, the heir, is Felipe. And where is he? He's down here. Prince Felipe, age 28. He is married to a French princess. That doesn't do us any good, but there's where we're at. Now, his sons, assuming he takes over in a few years from his dad, his sons, and assuming he does have some sons coming, will be the people that I am concerned about with making the next marriage offer. And who that's likely to be is probably England. They're right here, so they're very close to us. There is not a ton of infrastructure around here. There are a few border forts, as I'm seeing now. But it's likely that in the course of these wars, some of that infrastructure may be destroyed. So if England manages to spread out from Anjou and Aquitaine, I think these are their only two provinces. Maybe they own Wales and or Scotland. But if they manage to break out and spread out, then some of these border forts may go away as a consequence of that fighting. And also the English have not had the strongest royal line. If you look at their king, he's got 0 stars. Prince Alfred, 0 stars. So these guys are not good. And I think, okay, there's a 1-star prince here. Prince Edmund is 18. That's it for the royal family. This is a pretty pathetic royal family. So if we needed to, we could get in here and clean house, I think. We're going to have to wait to do that because we want not Felipe to come of age, because he is, but we need to wait for him to be king and for him to have some sons and for them to come of age. And then we try the English thing. The other thing we could do is maybe we don't have to wait that long. Like, let's say that the king dies in a few years, and we have Felipe take over. Felipe's got some younger brothers. Alfonso, Sancho, and then Fernando is 7. So there are 3 brothers, and what we could do is wait till one of those brothers, I guess that would be Alfonso, becomes the heir. Right? We get Alfonso married. To an English princess. We wipe out the English royal family, see if we inherit any of this land. Right? So that could be a way to test it. Now that's a little different from what we've been doing so far. So far we've been, the heir has been the son of the father, and that's who we care about getting married. This would be the younger brother of the current king. And so maybe that introduces another problem into the inheritance mechanic. I'm, again, not really sure. I don't know that anybody knows for 100% certainty, but that's what we're going to be going with. Okay, we've got an emissary and emissary. I'm just going to move them around a little. We do have more assassins in training, and we don't have that many on the board anymore because you go through them kind of quickly when you are killing kings, right? We've got 4 on the board, so let's see. There's 1. Just want to make sure I get them all accounted for. 2, 3. Where's my 4th? The frustrating thing is, if you go to it, it doesn't take you to where the assassin is, but where he was before you moved him. And so that's requiring me to remember where the heck I moved my assassin to. That's just really unreasonable. All right, Northumbria, and Normandy. I have no idea. I see 3. We've got 4. I guess, you know what? I'll just wait a turn. I've moved him. They're going somewhere. He's not on a mission, right? Spying. Okay. So hopefully I've moved them into a sensible place. Are you an assassin? No, it's princess. Princess. And this is a border fort here, and this is the well-built-up lands of Germany. Okay, let's get down to Provence, I guess. And right, we were kind of keeping an eye on this. The interesting thing is there was a French crusade headed toward, I think, Palestine. And I think we destroyed that crusade by wiping out the royal family. So the crusade is now probably just gone. Oh, there's a 4th. There's our 4th assassin. Okay, for some reason I brought him down to Portugal, probably to spy over there. Great, so everything's accounted for. Let's just end the year. Economy's doing quite good. I was a little worried there as France was getting stronger and stronger that we were going to get drawn into a big war. But look at England. They're not wasting any time taking over those rebel territories. All right, and they're going to do very well. All right, killed 300 people in Prussia. And we're killing papal assassins here all over the place. Egyptian Sultan. You know, he wants an alliance. I'm going to have to say no to that. No. Part of me would like it just to secure my southern border, but of course, remember that I do want to get Syria eventually. And I know that that's held by the Turks currently, so you'd think, well, ally with Egypt. I cannot pass through Egyptian territory with my crusades. It will be war. So, you know, I don't want to put myself in a position of, like, betraying an ally. All right, so you're that guy. Let's see. Actually, yeah, okay. It's an Alim. Yeah, we'll get him with another 1-star. That's another 83%. It's kind of interesting that this is 83% to attack an emissary. I would have thought Alims are harder to kill. But both of these guys have the same valor. Okay. This guy's doing great. So his influence is leveling up. Now, I believe there is some kind of a... I don't know if it's a bug or a feature, honestly. But with Glorious Achievements mode, if you have your homelands, your king will just continually rack up the influence. So we'll check this, you know, in another couple of turns and see if he ends with 6 or if he gets another point or two for no real reason. Because when he got that crusade, that brought him, I think, to 5. Right? We crusaded to Portugal. He got the credit for that. He was king at the time, and that brought us up by 1. We've done nothing else that would increase our influence. Influence increases by conquering territory, by crusading, and by helping out your allies. If, let's say that, you know, I was allied to England and the Aragonese were besieging them, and I sent an army in to fight and kicked out the Aragonese, the English king would send his gratitude to me, but I wouldn't get the territory because it's his, and I would get, I guess, a point of influence for doing that. That's what I understand anyway. Okay, so the English do have both Scotland and Wales. That's very interesting. There's nothing in these places, which is a real shame. So I don't know why that is. But we'll just, we'll kind of keep an eye on this. Let's see, yep, Edmund. So William IV is 31. So there could be a lot of heirs on the way. But, you know, the thing I need to be doing is just continuously cranking out both bishops and inquisitors. I mostly want to use the bishops over here, right, for obvious reasons. If I'm going to end up with territory in the Holy Land eventually, then I will want to have eyes on there, and I will want to start converting the populace. But in the northern territories and the Catholic territories where I'm not going to conquer most likely, I want inquisitors roaming around, just maybe causing trouble, and so I can theoretically use them to try heretics. Like, let's just see, how would it... Okay, I can't... Interesting. I can't inquisit rebels. But I can try, you know, these people. That's 14% chance of inquisiting this guy. So he's got, what is it, 6 piety. Let's try you. That's 24. And he's got 4 piety. So piety adds, what, 10%? Right? Or, no, this was 14. So piety adds 5%, maybe, to the difficulty of Inquisition. So this was, yeah, 14, 24, so 2 more. Okay. Still not great odds. Now, I think this is very low risk to the Inquisitor, and what you can do is just keep trying and trying and trying. Your Inquisitor is not going to get killed at a failed attempt, unlike an assassin. So this is totally safe, and what's more, you can uncover or cause some traits to emerge in your target from trying and trying and trying, even if you fail. Khan of Steppe pointed this out to me in a comment, I think a couple of weeks ago, where there are like 4 different lines of paranoid that you can get if you are always under the trial by an inquisitor, but you're not actually burned at the stake. And I think some of them will lower your piety. One of them will actually raise it, but the others may actually make it easier for you to be fried later on. So let's try a prince. That's 10. So even though his piety is lower than anyone else's, because he's a prince, that's going to give him you know, better odds of surviving, I suppose. And what would it be to try a king? Yeah, 0. So, you know, maybe one tactic we could use is just try to swarm with the low-level Inquisitors, and then once we get Grand Inquisitors, send them in for the kill, right? Like, try to get a bunch of traits that emerge that make the target super unpious. All right, so here we are developing our military here, so eventually we will, you know, once we feel the need for more troops, we'll take the time out and train some good stuff, because now we got, you know, feudal men at arms, feudal sergeants. These are decent, so you know, it might be good also to go like crossbowmen, because we will get them in about 50 years or 25 or so. This is Jeanette's. You know, I guess I'll need this. This is for Royal Knights. Now, Knights are going to be armored, so maybe if this is my unarmored province, maybe, I don't know, do I not want this to be Knights quite so much? Maybe I'll focus on lighter stuff. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just go with a Boyer's Workshop. I will want a place for crossbows for sure. And Portugal, yeah, the happiness is not so great. So let's spend 1,000 on a keep. We'll just keep leveling up. Okay, we got some interesting stuff. Mamluk horse archers. I almost think we shouldn't be able to see these yet. You do get some units through mercenaries earlier than you would get them through training. Yeah, like I don't think we'd be able to train mounted crossbowmen. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Alright, so Sicilians excommunicate. I should get over there because they're a small faction. Right. What? Oh, that's right. I sent him to kill an Alim or something. So there's another guy still out there. Alright, we've got another son. We've completed a homelands goal. Let's check my assassins. Yes, you're in Leon. You're going to Lesser Armenia. That's bad, so we will abandon that. Yep, cancel that mission. Get you up, like, in Venice. Go after you. I think that was just a 1-star assassin that we lost, so no big deal. Alright, but no other likely targets in the area. Okay, so yeah, Brittany did have border forts, if I remember correctly. And now they don't. So the English, interestingly, they were able to take it, but destroyed a bunch of stuff, and I think it's going to take them a while before they can start snapping up these provinces, which is just fine as far as I'm concerned. Let them wait. Since there's nothing up here, I don't need the Inquisitor there. And I really, you know, maybe I don't even need one in Mercia because I've got a ship keeping an eye on Mercia. And, you know, eventually I could go up here to get another trade route going. But we can actually see about this now, because we'll connect our ships with the Gulf of Cadiz, and Cordoba is trading, you know, locally. It's trading with Algeria and Grenada through ship. And then what we're going to see is if it's going to, you know, it's going to trade up here, and I think it will. It's just, you know, we are trading the silk in Castile with the English Channel people, right? And we are because let's see, yeah, let's check Leon. Yeah, trading with Normandy. Even though Normandy is a rebel province, we are at peace with the rebels. So again, I don't really need agents up here. Let's go to Naples. I wanted to check that out. Okay, and we've got an emissary. I will bring you back home. I'm a little worried about you. Catholicism's 85%. I think I want my bishop to stick around. Yeah, and Friesland I don't need you either because we've got a ship that can see there. So let's go to Sicily, and then we'll hop over to Malta. We're going to go for super long AI turn times. That's the goal. We're going to go for it because we're going to have agents in every province. It's going to be obnoxious. All right, great. So he got a level of valor by killing that emissary. That's great. Okay, and someone else got a point of valor by killing our emissary. All right, Hungarians. Okay, the Hungarians, they're a Catholic faction too. So they are potentially a inheritance faction. All right, so he wants crusade against the Sicilians. We could do that. All right, Inquisition dismantled in Prussia. All right. Okay, so Prince Alfonso, who's that? All right. This is the second son of my current king, Enrique. When Enrique dies, maybe next year, right? Felipe, his son, will take over, and then Alfonso here will be the heir. So in a couple of years, Alfonso's going to be the heir. He's probably 30 or so, if I remember right. And I have no idea how old Princess Sigrid is. That's the frustrating thing. And we don't know if Sigrid is the daughter of Harold of Denmark or the... well, she could be the sister. She could be maybe a niece or an aunt even. I don't know. But I think I'll say yes to this, and then we can try to focus on the Danes, right? So we haven't done this, this form of marriage where the AI initiates it. Let's try it, and let's see. Harold IV. I want to see if we can, wipe him out. Let's give it a shot. If not, no big deal, right? Because... we've got a short window of time anyway before... Who is Alfonso? Where is he? Yeah, we've got a short window of time before this guy's disinherited as the heir, right? And he's not heir currently, but once this guy dies, he will be for like a couple of years, maybe. Okay, we've got an interesting new glorious achievement goal. Iberian Spanish civilization. Despite their conflict for territory, there is common ground between Spanish and Berber culture. Points are counted in 1204, 1320, and 1453, so 3 individual dates. No matter who owns the provinces, there must be more than 30 buildings or upgrades in Castile and more than 30 buildings or upgrades in Granada. I think if we get... Geez, is 2 points for both of these things? Or is it 2 points for Castile and 2 points for Granada? I think it's for both. And then the same thing for Aragon and Cordoba, but just 1 point. It's so complicated and long-winded for the measly amount of points you're going to get, because this is like, at best, 6 points. And, okay, you get to count it 3 times, I suppose. But, let's see. 1204. So 30. So it's Castile, Granada, Aragon, and Cordoba. So Granada, so Castile, 30. Oh, geez. And then Granada and Aragon and Cordoba. So it's like, okay. What counts as an upgrade? Right? Because we've got a castle. Does this count as like 2 upgrades? I guess we don't have it yet because it would be red, right? So I guess we'll know when we get there. And we may as well go for it. The interesting thing about that is I don't need to conquer Aragorn or Granada, as it says, no matter who owns the provinces. So if I can sort of instill a relatively peaceful corner of the map and not go to war with them, then we can have, if they're building, then maybe I can get a lot of points for this. So that's pretty cool. I think you get that as a goal if you're playing as Aragon as well. Okay, there's an Alim. Let's, okay, you're a 2-star. Let's send you after the Alim because I think they're slightly... Or actually, these guys, the Pope here, is sending all of his agents after me. Or I don't know if he's sending all of his agents after me, but he's sending agents out and about, and we're intercepting them. And so it is rather unsettling. But okay, we've got Alfonso married to the Danes, and I'm going to make a note that's Harold the Fourth. So what I want to do now is see if we can find him. And you know, he's not here, but he's probably pretty old. Prince Olaf is 36, so Harold is probably older than him. All right, and this guy is nobody. All right, so let's move everybody up towards Denmark. And we'll see what they have. I think they've got Saxony. They don't have Lorraine or Flanders. But they could get those relatively easily, right? All right, let's get you out of here, because I think I want a couple of people up here. One of you can go up through Sweden and Norway. And we've still got assassins coming, so let's queue them all up in Valencia. Okay, so now for building. We're making less money, 824. All right, let me check. Cordoba. Yep, trading all the way up with Wessex and Flanders, but not the silk, because Flanders has its own silk. Okay, so I think that's good. We could actually now do this. All right, so do I have a place where I can build ships? All right, well, I think that's going to be my build in Cordoba then, because we've also got 1-star assassins we can get out of Valencia, and I'd rather build them up because we're probably going to be making another big run at the Danish king in a couple of years. So I want to have a good stable of assassins handy. And let me just check. Okay, you're in Cordoba. Yep. You're in Cordoba. Portugal, Leon, Castile, Valencia. All right. So yeah, we'll get more ships out of Cordoba eventually. I guess we could do it in Navarre too. Oh, we got some Jobbik. I thought these were Molgavars for a second, but these are Jobbigi. It's kind of a similar unit. It's a Hungarian unit. So it might be worth building Navarre up slightly for another ship place. Or Portugal, honestly. Yeah, Portugal would be the one to go. Okay, what do I want to do in Valencia? Only making 190. All right, how about this? I will do a ship here, because I think it's going to be worth it to get another, couple of ships. No, what am I kidding? We've got to keep up with the assassins. I can't lose sight of that. That is the most important thing. All right, but I've got my agents moved up there. Maybe I don't need anyone in Constantinople, because the Turks are doing a pretty good job of holding on to all of this. I think I'll get you over in Lesser Armenia. And yeah, let's get you in Syria, because I do want to make sure we're converting that. So yes, you can come up to, like, Brandenburg. I guess, though, what we could do is start assassinating the sons. I've got to do that. Oh, okay. So he failed against a rank 0 emissary. Well, it happens. All right, the English back off of Toulouse. Good. I want them to be slow. All right, Valencia. Oh my gosh, this is Sancho. All right, so this is a third son, right? Enrique's still king. He's going to die soon. Then Felipe will take over, right? And then if Felipe dies before his son comes of age, if he has a son, then that'll be Alfonso, who's married to the Danes, and only then would Sancho be heir. I don't think it makes sense to agree to this. It would get us an alliance with the English, but there's a very high chance that Sancho is never going to be in line even for a second. Right? The reason I was accepting the Danish proposal was because it's likely Alfonso will be in line for maybe a couple of years. But Sancho, I don't see it happening. Maybe in a few more years, you know, maybe they'll ask again. Feels like a waste. Okay, most honest move. Very good. All right, so yes, that's just that. Yeah, I know Pomerania's. We'll just stay there. Okay, what do we have here? No border fort in Franconia, but there is one in Friesland, and there is a 5-star son here. He's 37. Here's the king, Harold IV, 38 years old, and he's got 2 heirs: 29-year-old Prince Knud and 27-year-old Prince Valdemar. Now, I don't like the odds of any of that. You know, so it's kind of a long shot that we're going to make this work out. All right, he's in Aragon, the papal bishop. I guess I'll let you stay on that. Okay, that's fine. Everyone else just chill out. Did I want to go with a dockyard? I think eventually... But we're not making a ton of money right now. Let's go with a relatively cheap and nice castle and ring wall. It could come in handy at some future point. Okay, yeah, we'll just start gathering all my Inquisitors up here. And I don't think there's anyone in Franconia. But Saxony, okay, that's actually 13%. He's got low piety. He's 36. And how old are you? 38. All right, so actually we've got a lot of time, in theory, to make this, to set this up. He is married, so he could be having his own sons. They'll still be around, though, his, like, younger brothers, so we do need to kill them. All right, yeah, you come over here. And yeah, let's bring you up. Let's just bring everybody up here. We don't really need an Inquisitor down in Venice right at the moment. Bulgaria. Nice to keep eyes on Bulgaria, I guess. And Hungary. And we're training more, right? Yeah. Let's just keep it going. Okay, money. Leon would probably be a nice ship builder. Very safe. I don't think I need another assassin place. Okay, but we did see, right, Sicily. Oh my gosh, check this out. They've got a drinking den, so I think this is, let's see, we've got a ale house, and then drinking den and rookery. So drinking den gives +2 valor to start. Interesting. So the Sicilians are probably at war with the papacy. Yep, that's why they're excommunicated. Let's just bring you straight to Malta. And just double check. Geez, who is on Sardinia? I guess this is an Italian rebellion. Are the Italians still around? Yeah, they're somewhere. They're probably in Corsica. All right, very good. Okay, also very good. I don't think I have anybody in Navarre, so I need to get an assassin up there to guard. All right, the English are sorry, the Egyptians are going after the Turks. They have been at peace, I think, this whole time, and now the death of Enrique of Spain. All right, German assassins going around. No principles for Lord Enrique's. That's fine. And resilient. Okay, that's okay. What is he? A rank 0 general. I mean, he's actually really good. Dang. All right, I don't have any lordships kicking around, but I will keep him in mind. All right, so let's put this guy in charge because I don't want him to end up assassinated. All right, yeah, you go up here, and this guy's a 2-star, so he feels like he's too good to be just waiting around in Navarre, which doesn't have a port. I mean, I could build one. Relatively cheap. Wouldn't do me much good. Like, it could be, again, another place to build ships out of, but I want to keep this very low, I think. Just keep the fort here. It's going to be a real pain to take back, though. Like, if I intend to keep this with only a fort, that means I'm consigning myself to counterattacking a mountainous province, you know, if I don't have a good garrison there. All right, so interesting. The Danes do not have Sweden yet, and I don't think they have Norway either. Yeah. All right, let's just come back here then, and we will focus on this. Prince Olaf, 38. 2 piety. Prince Eric, 37. Also 2 piety. So that's 13%, and that's 13%. So let's throw everybody at him first. And this is not good odds. All right, and I think I've got another Inquisitor, or I should... Nope. Yes, okay. Maybe one of them will get through. They'll all live, though, regardless. All right, there's the Italian. That's all he's got. He's just got his sons. Brothers or whatever. Okay, so I don't need you down here. You can go up and try to wipe out Prince Olaf. All right, and this is where the Sicilians are, which is fine. Border forts here, not here, but potentially some startup assassins running around. So this is safe. Malta's a no-go, but there's also no air in Malta. Malta is not built up either. There's like nothing here. Loyalty is 98%. It's kind of wild. Okay, lots of assassins. Let's keep going with them. And what do I want to build here? I think we got to go for... Oh, okay, yeah, the drinking den. There we go. Now we'll have 2 Valor Assassins. And Castile... I mean, we could go for the Citadel. This is making 205. And in terms of 907 to 1045, I think that's reasonable. 1,500 florins for that return, I think, is okay. All right, nothing good. Let's see how the Inquisitors do. All right, go free, go free, go free, go free, go free. All right, they all failed. And the French reappear. All right. Yeah, I was wondering. So I love this game, man, because you can wipe out a faction and then they can reemerge. Now, this also occurred in Shogun 1, but then it took Total War like many games before this came back, because starting with Rome, they just said, nah, wipe them out and they're gone forever. Barbarian Invasion kind of brought it back in the sense that certain factions, which were shadowing other factions, the the Eastern and Western Roman rebels, could reemerge on a rebellion, but it wasn't the same, right? Any faction here can reemerge, but there have to be certain conditions. And, you know, one of the conditions is, as I understand it, one of the heirs has to still be alive somehow off map. And then the other is there needs to be a rebellion. Now, in this case, there is a ton of rebel armies just lying around. And so the French just got them. You can see that they're not really attacking anything. These rebel provinces are joining the revolt. So that's 8 provinces just saying, yeah, okay, we'll fight. I don't even know where the attack is. I guess it's Northumbria. So that's the one place where there was a rebellion. And I wish I had an agent there now, because I think there has to be an actual rebellion. Like, it needs to, like, the loyalty of the province has to be below 100 or at 100. And at that point, you can have a rebellion. And the rebellion may be a faction that once owned that territory if they've been eliminated and there's an heir left. And when that happens, other provinces that they owned may join the rebellion, either by just the rebel armies sort of joining sides like this, or if the loyalty is below 120% in those other provinces. So if you wipe out a faction, you do have to keep an eye on rebellions, but not only the normal type, also watching out to make sure that your happiness in those provinces is above 120. So the French are all of a sudden a big, big deal again because they get all their armies back. So that's pretty neat. And now that gives the English something to worry about. And the English may be gone again, right? It's kind of sad in a way, because, well, look at this. They got all these great generals back. I mean, the armies are not good. A lot of peasants. But still, like, they got all of England, and the English only really could take Brittany, and that, they just did so poorly. So I think the English are going to be gone. All right, so we failed utterly, but he lost some piety, so check it out. He is an atheist. He's been exposed as a non-believer in a world ruled by the devout and faithful. It will be hard for him to survive. -8 piety. However, true zealot, most loyal, born again, that gives him a +6 piety. He's repented his sins and claims to be washed in the blood of the Lamb of God. He has taken a vow of personal poverty and donated his wealth to the church. The Inquisition will find him hard to fault now, -6 dread, which is pretty great if he's a governor, right? But +6 piety. All right. But that was canceled out by the -8 for being an atheist. So now this should be easier, actually. Nope, 13, exactly the same. I wonder if there's just a cap, like on princes. All right, and yeah, you can go after it, and you can go after it. And yeah, it may take a while, right? All right, so I don't need to worry about Brandenburg, actually, because that's Polish. And the Danes are allied with the Poles, so there should be no changing of hands of territory here. Franconia, geez, I can't remember. Is that British? Or French, rather? Or German? Well, you know, the other thing we could do is try assassins, right? We've got a 4-star guy. What would that look like? 24%, that's not too bad for a 5-star general. It is a border fort province. But our new king here, Philippe I, married to a French princess, and his heir is currently Prince Alfonso, 32, married to the daughter or sister of the Danish king. Now, we've got a bunch of new sons here, so these are new ones. Last I knew, we had the princess was Sancha. Okay, and she's down here. All right, Fernando, I knew about him, but Ferdinand is 7. Okay, he's new. All right, Alfonso, Sancho, Maria were all accounted for. Fernando, yep, he's fine. But Ferdinand and Gark. Okay, so got a couple of sons. Ferdinand will take over in, let's see, as heir in 9 years. So that means if I want to maybe inherit Danish territory, I've got 9 years to make it happen. Right? Before I lose Alfonso as my heir. I think that's how it works. I think it needs to be the heir or the current king who's married to the princess who you're trying to inherit land from, right? So Ferdinand is 7. We've got 9 years for him. We've also got Gark. And then we've got, let's see, Violante, right? So, okay, she was older. Blanca is new, though. I don't think we knew about her. And Teresa we did know about. Right. Maybe I missed Blanca, but it doesn't matter so much. So Blanca may actually be a sister of the current king. But again, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. Let's send you up, and you'll try it as well. If we manage to do this, it'll just save our assassins some trouble. I'd like to not have to go here at all with assassins, right, because of the border fort. But we could go here and... Okay, this actually will be a big problem now that I'm looking at it. Because... Okay, damn. There's no way for us to target these guys because they're within the stack. So, we're going to be kind of doing what we did with the French. Alright? But it's going to be slightly different because this time they asked us to marry them. Dang. Alright. 29 and 31. I guess the only other thing is, if he has a son come of age soon, these guys may no longer be heirs. They probably still will. Yeah. Alright, well, this is all just a big experiment. And yeah, you know what? This is... let's just throw them all. I mean, what do you have for princes? Again, they're all within his army. So this makes it tough. Because, like, if I were to try to drop an assassin here, you know, on the king, all I'm doing is targeting whatever, you know, whatever is there at the top of the stack. Right. Oh, hey, we got him. All right. Not even rulers are safe from the twisted words of the heresiarch. Already I have found evidence of heresy in one heir to the throne. Fortunately, I was able to purify his soul. We got him. Prince Olaf is no more. Turkish are the richest. Okay. Mendoza. Clarice, great. Great. All right, nice. So, there's no more heirs here. Beautiful. Now, I want to just see if I have an Inquisitor who's got extra valor. Nope, they've all got 2. No, one of them has 4. Wow, alright. Alright, so we'll move everybody over to Saxony now, and we'll go for Prince Eric. Alright, it's going to be a little tedious. And this still does not solve the problem that we will have to assassinate, like, through the king. Which is, again, going to kind of work against what I had hoped for, right? I'd hoped to, you know, eliminate the family by killing just the one king. Right? Get all the heirs first, and then kill the king, because if he has someone take over for him, then the marriage may not be, like, a valid means of inheritance anymore. So that may still be the case. I don't know. Let's bring everyone up to Denmark. But we are getting there, I think, in some ways. And do we want to go with another ship? I guess we should just keep going assassins. Let's see, 1176. So 696 could become 804, so that's over 100. That's also, I think, pretty decent. Let's do it. Relatively easy money. And then we're going to want to be a little careful because we do want to build up these to like the Citadel level. All right, yes, Franconia is Polish, so that's, I could have brought that Inquisitor up too. All right, free. All right, we got him. I just clicked through it too fast, but we did get him. Yes, okay, the Franconian guys killed 1,260 people. Shipwright in Leon. Okay, great. So we can start training boats out of Leon without worrying about it. And we've got a son, so we got to check that. So that is Prince Pedro. All right, very nice. So we will have some heirs here. Ferdinand is 9. 15. Fernando's 15, but he is a brother, so he's not going to take over as heir. Okay, so we've cleaned out the royal family from Friesland and Saxony. Now it just remains to deal with the king. This, I think, is going to require assassins, because I don't even think... Let's see if I can find a 4-star Inquisitor here. All right, are you... No, I just need to move them. They're fine. They're fine. All right, where's the 4-star? We got 2 4-stars, so killing a prince gives you, like, 2 stars. All right, but let's see what this would look like. 0%. You just can't do it. Like, and this guy, he does have 3 piety, but we're going to need to assassinate. So, and we have to do it, you know, kind of like now, because Alfonso is the heir currently. And it doesn't have to be like right now, but let's see. That's 17% chance with a 3-star assassin. A 1-star is probably going to be 10. All right, that's... Really? It's much better than I would have thought. 14, okay. All right, and yeah, let's leave the 1-stars behind, I guess. Do I want to keep a 4-star, my 4-star hero around? I think we want to throw everything at it, actually. 10%. I mean, it's... This is what we're spending our money on. We're just sitting on wealth. We're not really that rich, honestly, but we have enough to keep training assassins every turn, and so we can just keep doing that. We're gradually working up trade networks as well. All right, I think that's everybody who's good. That's actually literally everybody. Perfect. All right, so we're still training him up. You know, arguably, I don't maybe need to... Once I get this, I'll be wanting to train more out of Cordoba, so I can maybe take a few turns to build ships instead if I really wanted to. But we'll get a boat up here, and that way I'll have a nice visibility on Scotland, Northumbria, Saxony, and Denmark. And then, you know, a couple more boats will get into the Baltic. It's not really worth it now. There's only 1 port here and 1 port here. But I think that will be good. All right, let's just see if that all works, and then we've got to take out the next 2 heirs. But yeah, I kind of feel like we may just be breaking the inheritance line. So even if we eliminate the Danes, we probably won't inherit anything. So he died. All right, we got him with a rank 3 assassin. Bandits in Saxony because we got a million Inquisitors there. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Let's see. We killed 13,000 people. All right, Fernando has come of age. Let's just double check. Pride, natural leader. He is not the heir. Perfect. So Alfonso still is. We've got 6 years to wipe out the Danes to see if we can inherit, you know, any of the 2 provinces they will own. So why did this happen? Well, public order is a little low. I think it was 98 before. I would love to say that the Inquisitors caused a rebellion here, but I don't think so. This is an army of bandits. Right, I would expect it to be like, you know, Catholics or something. But anyway. Okay, yeah, new heir, new king. Valdemar, and then we've got that. Okay, so really there's just 2 guys we need to kill. Okay, there's actually no port here. That is kind of frustrating. I don't know why. I thought there was one. What happened to it? Just checking for royal blood, right? Like, sometimes you'll see it on guys who are no longer the heir. Like, none of these guys have it. Interesting. Okay. Well, we gotta come down here with all of our assassins. And I'll bring you down too. Do we have our 4-star still? Yep, okay. I don't even think he got to it. I think what happened is we killed him with a 1 or 2-star assassin. So we're gonna queue up this. Okay, that's 0. Ooh. Jeez, he's got 4, only 3 piety. All right, 7. All right, I'll try it anyway. We got to try it because that'll give him some bad traits, right? So we've got 2 7% chances. 2 separate dice rolls. And so obviously we're probably not gonna get him this time, but if we do get him, maybe if we don't get him, maybe we get some traits. And how old is this new king? 34. He's unmarried, so yeah, he's probably a brother of Alfonso's wife. He's 32, so this is like another brother, or maybe cousin? Probably brother. All right, now these guys are going to start coming out with 2 valor. I'm going to move. Let's see. Let's bring you up. And yeah, we'll bring them all up. What am I saying? I was thinking to leave someone behind to work up experience, but I think we need them all. And again, this is kind of a sideshow, you know, until the real heir comes of age, Ferdinand here. But until that moment, we can at least get these guys out. Okay, we do have some princesses. Let's go move them someplace. Greece for you, and you could go up to... I don't know, let's put you up in Novgorod. I'm kind of curious. All right, and there's another one. All right, you can be in Lithuania. Okay, free. We actually got him. Wow, okay, one of those guys with a 7% chance actually got him. All right. That's ridiculous. Okay, murderous temper. His murderous temper has been exposed. He could not cover up the death of an unarmed holy man who disagreed with his choice of wine with the cheese course. +2 dread, -2 piety. All right, I hope the AI doesn't start using this against me. There's Prince Fernando, natural leader pride. We'll just stick him under a better, more loyal general. Some of these guys are really, really good. And how long? 5 years? All right, so not all of my assassins are in place, but we'll bring them down. And I think we'll make a run anyway. We've got another prince to get through, though. He just came of age. Damn. Ah, that is so frustrating. And this is border forts, right? So let's check out Inquisitors, and I'm curious about how high we are. Okay, we've still got just two 4-star Inquisitors and then 1 3-star Inquisitor. It feels like a bit of a ripoff. Let's see. Can we even kill you? No. 0% chance. So it's going to have to be assassins. 14. 14. 34. This feels like a bit of a waste. 14. 17. 24. Okay. But yeah, rebels actually took this. They may split up their army to try to take this back. That'd be great if they take the prince or the king out. Maybe we'll have a better shot. But yeah, let's bring up more assassins. Still no border forts up there, so I'm willing to risk it. And you should have 2 stars. Yes, indeed. All right, let's get bishops for a while. And we are getting a boat gradually. Okay, 721, 838. This is a good investment right here. Yeah, loyalty's bad. All right, we're going to go with the shipwright, and then we'll get spies, I think, out of Portugal. That might be a spy/boat province. All right, Cordoba, we cannot afford this. That's okay. You know, we will eventually. All right, let's see if any of our guys get through, and then they'll have to kill the next king. And all of this within about 4 years now. Okay, the French go for it. Wow. I don't know how they even got to Saxony. Do they have a ship? All right, so he did not make it. He did make it. 4-star assassin. Good for him. Yep. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Even if we get him. All right, so now there's yet another heir. There's another 16-year-old just appeared. Four-star, 1-star. All right, so the French came over to help? Is that right? That must be. They're allied with the Danes, so they came over to relieve the rebel siege of Saxony to help their allies, the Danes. So the French, it turns out, are the heroes of this campaign, and I am unquestionably the villain. I killed everybody. I murdered the entire French family. Except for one little baby who got away and eventually raised a standard of rebellion. Everyone in all of his the massive French Empire joined his rebellion willingly. And good guy French are aiding their allies, the Danes, from a rebellion which I may have partly caused by frying some of their family members here. All right, well, what I could do here is, you know, it might be easier. Let's do this in 2 waves. We'll send the Inquisitors after the 16-year-old. That's a 76% chance. All right. 78. Wait, did I click the wrong guy? Yes, I clicked the king. So I probably don't need to do all this. I'm going to do a bunch of them anyway. And then what we'll do is we'll just wait a year. And we'll see if that got him. And then we'll send the assassins over. I know that means these assassins here may just get killed. So maybe the ones that are in Friesland, maybe I should use them. $20, $14, $34. That's, you know... Nah. Wait, so order of operations. I think he would die, then they would try to... So I'm actually going to cancel the mission. Because I think we want the Inquisitors to be targeting the prince. If we assassinate the king, and we might first, because these guys are in the province with him, I'm guessing that this would be resolved first. Then he dies, and then he's the new king, right? This guy here. Oh, but we're inquisiting the wrong guy. We're inquisiting Sir Eric Jarl. Well, whatever. Let's do it anyway. So we're not getting the prince. We can still wait. We can still wait. Get some assassins up there. And inquisit the prince, maybe not this turn, but next turn, because by then the 4-star general who's outranking him, this guy will be dead. And then we can target all those inquisitors at the prince, kill him, and then kill the king, and by then it won't matter because we may have run out of time. Alright, people are moving around. Alright, we got him. First try. Alright. No, and where are we here? 13. Okay, we've got like 2, maybe 3 years. Alright, there's another prince under him, of course. Of course. And no princes here or here. So we've got to send assassins. It's completely ridiculous. We don't have that many of them up here. But I'll bring you down just in case. It's going to be a 1-star and a 2-star, and then I'll do the same. We may be running out of time, right? Like they may not have time to get here, but you never know. He may move over to Saxony, so that before Ferdinand comes of age and removes Alfonso as the heir here, maybe we will be able to get it. All right, we got a boat. So I think we want to do... all right, we can trade with the French. They've got wool, but we can give them all of our silk. So you can go here, here, and here. All right, fail, fail. All right, do I have no assassins up here now? Guess I lost the 4-star assassin. That is a damn shame. All right, we can now get this guy, Prince Christopher. And, like, there's maybe a chance we can get some assassins to kill him. But hard to kill. +4 Valor versus assassins. Right? I just wish that one of these guys would be good enough to take out a king. But no. Alright, so all of you guys will go after the prince. That's 23, 23. So the odds are very good for this. Like, I don't think we need all of these guys. But yeah, you go over here. That's 14. And that's 17. Terrible odds, right? And he's 19, so, ugh. Still, we'll keep shuffling assassins. Alright, looks like the French and the Germans are at war now. Alright, so go free, go free. Wow, okay. Hey, my emissary turned the tables on an assassin. Very nice. Alright, we didn't kill anybody, but we did kill 1,800 people. Yep. Didn't even get close to him. One more year. You know, I may as well give it a shot. And we'll try this again. If this all works out, you know, maybe it will do what we want, but I'm not holding my breath. We are getting some decent Inquisitors. And he's getting some bad traits, right? Atheist and born again. So it seems like they get both of these pretty consistently. And you know, ultimately it's good. It works to your favor because you do get a net decrease in the piety. Alright, what can we do here for public order? I guess we could do town guard. Actually, a church. I think that helps public order independently. Yeah, it helps the happiness. So let's go with a church. Nice to have another place for bishops. And we're getting close to the 8,000 we need to level this up to a fortress. So I think I'm going to hold off. There's no sense in cranking out more and more assassins this turn. I think we can take one turn off. We've got a couple sitting here. Yep. So I guess we can start moving the bishops around, though. Let's send them Palestine. One of you can be, yeah, Constantinople. And Trebizond. Got one more bishop and then a princess. So let's put you in Georgia, and the princess can go to Kiev, I guess. All right, so everybody's queued up. It's the last year before Ferdinand comes of age. And I think, you know, he may come of age this turn anyway before all of that stuff happens, so he may render it irrelevant. But possibly not, right? I don't know how this mechanic works. So we've got Prince Christopher. He is gone. But the king is alive, and there's Prince Ferdinand. Secret blackmailer. No, that's about right. Okay. All right, so there's where we're at. We've got a marriage to the Danes, probably a sister or maybe a cousin now at this point, of King Hardicanute. We've killed a bunch of the royal family through Inquisition. I think just killed one through assassination, one king. And now, as we can see, Alfonso is an heir, but he's not in direct line anymore. So it may still be relevant. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure. If he's the heir to the throne, is that what matters the most? I don't know. But we do have Prince Ferdinand, 16, a disloyal punk. He does have 4 command. That's nice. This is actually really good to get on an heir who's in line to the throne, because you don't want it on another general, right? Like a governor. And he's not going to be disloyal to himself, so he will not have a loyalty stat. So even if this becomes blackmailer, I don't think it's going to matter. So that's actually kind of nice. I should, though, be checking loyalty, speaking of that, because I've just not been looking at it lately. And I have just been sitting. And that is kind of dangerous. If you're not, like, doing conquering, you notice the the influence of this guy has not gone up at all since he took over. And we do have homelands, but he hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't done any crusades, so I think that's part of it. It's sort of stalled out here. All right, let's back to assassins. And I think I do want to go... Ooh, I think I do want to do this, actually. 8,000, so that's a tremendous amount of investment, but I think it will be worth it. Because that's going to eventually allow us to get our rookery, which is going to get our 3 Valor Assassins. And, you know, eventually we get Syria. We build up a fortress there. We can get a rookery here and have, I think it's 5-star assassins just out of the gate. I don't know that it's super necessary. I mean, like, maybe we would have done this had we had better assassins at this point. But hard to kill is kind of tough luck for us. So I don't know that really much would have changed that. So we'll have to think about this. We need a princess for Prince Ferdinand. And so maybe now would be a good time to switch gears, switch our focus to the English from the Danes, because this guy's going to be king for a long time, right? And it feels like sending assassins after him is just a losing proposition. So maybe we kind of move these guys back, like get them up to Denmark so we can start moving them, you know, towards the English. Yeah, I definitely want you to come up. I guess the bishop can stay there. And then we'll move, yeah, all of you guys over to Flanders. Same thing, and we'll just kind of abandon this. I guess there's a possibility that he doesn't have any more kids. But we certainly want him to be not in a border fort province, right? Maybe if he moves out of this to some other place, I'll give it another shot. But now the thing to focus on will be getting a wife for our current heir, and then maybe making that an English wife, and then seeing if we can inherit their territory, because the English are not actually at war with anybody currently. We saved their bacon because by eliminating the French, that removed the wars between the two of them. Now the French are involved in fighting the Germans off to their east. So that'll probably result in making them stronger, but in the meantime, you know, the English are not dead. So they've got, let's see, they've got a prince here, 45-year-old king, drinker, and captured. All right, so someone's going to take over for him. I don't know who it is. But we'll leave that for the next episode. I hope that next time we will be able to get a marriage, you know, hasten the end of our new in-laws in a better fashion than we were able to with the Danes. But maybe it doesn't matter, right? And regardless, I'm having a good time. I hope you are too. Let me know if you have any ideas about how this should work or what I should be focusing on. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care until then.